What do you think about Pateks?
Not big. I like round Pateks. I don't like square. I don't like the Nautilus shape.
You're a fan of round sort of design?
Yeah, there's a one. I don't know which one it is. The World Time's nice or that.
Aquanaut probably is.
Yeah, that's the World Time.
No, I don't like the Aquanaut. I like the round Pateks. I don't know what numbers they are.
What the guy had on yesterday?
With the green dial olive one.
It's just the round face Pateks, not not that aeroplane window.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
What about AP? Do you like AP?
You know what the best AP is, in my opinion, and I am not a watch dealer.
Yeah.
The entry level Royal Oak.
Yeah, just
entry level.
Standard.
Yes.
White dial, grey dial.
Yeah, like I think it's about 15 list.
Yeah.
Just that entry level steel Royal Oak.
15500.
Yeah, just simple.
Yeah.
Just classic and simple.
I agree. I think
the problem with the APs, in my opinion, is how much can you do with a 50p piece?
True. Innit?
How many designs can
do?
With a 50p piece? So they're all 50p pieces.
The Royal Oak is a bit rubbed out now. I think because they released too many variations.
I think they're more popular in the States.
Yeah, they are.
Than they are here.
Anything yellow gold as well in the States.
Yeah, I think they because my friend had is it the brick?
Yeah, the offshore.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Awful, isn't it?
I mean, it's like.
But no one in the UK touches them.
Nah.
No one goes near them in the UK.
In
America, they're popular. Yeah.
If you could match the brick to one supercar, what would it be?
I'm sorry. How much is a brick?
About 40-50 grand. That's what I'd want to pay for one, but people sell them for stupid.
I don't even want to pay that, man. I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
How much is the gold content in a brick? What's the gold actually?
Yeah, the gold's worth
probably quite a lot. Yeah.
If you actually, let's say, melt it, take the movement out and melt it. How much is the actual gold worth?
18 carats, so it's probably worth a good 15 grand.
Because that was always the issue with gold Rolexes. Why they were never. Now they're all hyped, but generally there's not much gold in
them. Yeah.
You know, but the price was astronomical.
Yeah.
That's why people always preferred the stainless steel stuff because.
Yeah.
You pay for the brand at the end of the day, innit? It's like Ferrari, whatever.
Yeah, but you know, so people say you pay for the brand with watches. Rolex produce 1 million watches a year. Yeah, can you imagine Ferrari produced 1 million cars a year? How much would a Ferrari be worth? Think about it.
How many cars do they produce roughly? Do you know?
I don't know personally, but I don't reckon.
It's got to be a low number, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't imagine they produce more than 5,000-6,000 cars a year.
Yeah.
Really, 5,000-6,000?
Yeah, but probably not even that. But you think if, let's say tomorrow, Ferrari produced 1 million cars a year.
Yeah.
Like Rolex.
Price go right down, doesn't it?
Yeah, think about it. You know, all this hype on Rolex, but they do produce a lot of watches.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, I know.
I think
it's just so controlled. They produce them. They probably got so many of them just sat there, but they produce so many, but they control how many they give out and who they give them to. I guess that's kind of what they do.
I said this on another video as well, and I say again about Rolex. It's my biggest bugbear, and use watch dealers. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to repeat myself. The Submariner should not have a date.
Do you not think?
Always how? It's designed for divers, agreed?
Yeah, true.
When you're underwater, you do not need to know the date. You need to know how much air is left in your tank. A GMT should have a date. A sub should always be dateless. Looks much better with dateless. But when they bring out the green or whatever, why is it they always make them with a date? Why don't they make a dateless Hulk?
That's a good point, actually.
It would look so much better. I hate this bubble.
Yeah, the Cyclops.
Look, a GMT should have a date. GMT, world time.
Yeah.
You need to know the time, the date, different country, blah, blah, blah. A sub should not have a date.
Yeah. It's like the new divers watch they brought out, the new Deep Sea. Have you seen it? No. It's like 50mm. It's huge. But it's like the whole glass is a bubble because it goes to like 15,000
like the Cameron,
yeah.
It's fucking horrible. It's an ugly watch. But like, whereas the magnifier's so big, the dial looks small in the watch. So you can see the watch, but then the dial just looks like a tiny piece of like 1p inside of a £2 coin sort of thing.
I just think a sub should be classic. You know, a nice dateless sub.
It's classy
so
at the end of the day.
Yeah, no date sub would do it very, very clean.
Yeah, looks
a
much
lot.
better. But when they bring out, because what have they got? They've got the Hulk.
Yeah, so the Hulk, they don't make the Hulk.
And they got the Bluey.
Yeah, Blue.
But they've all got dates.
Yeah.
If they just brought out a dateless green, can you imagine how well that would do and how crisp it would look?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
but
look
they
unreal, to be
don't.
honest.
They always put the date in the Hulk. Why?
That is a Rolex myth. Why are you asking that, Rolex?
Yeah,
it's true. When you think, I never actually thought about that. The no date sub is only in obviously black.
Yeah, which is.
I never actually thought about that. Why is it only?
And that's the best looking sub, funny enough.
Yeah,
if I was
it's nice.
if I was to buy a sub, I'd only ever buy a dateless because
Yeah.
back in the day when the sub first came out, it never had a date.
I know, yeah, it's a newer thing.
They added it later.
Yeah.
So, but in my opinion, because it's a no one's going to go diving in a damn watch, but because it's a diver's watch essentially,
It shouldn't really have a
Yeah,
date,
leave
should
a
it?
date on the GMT.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's
That's a good rant. Isn't it?
It's my Rolex rant.
no, it makes sense though, because it's
But
like,
you know, there's some really good watch brands out there. That IWC make beautiful watches.
yeah, IWC is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
And FBJ make lovely watches.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great watch. Hamilton, is that Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton. What was that FPG that James has got?
FP John.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was, but I do like FP John.
they're like
They've got loads of nice.
they're
ones.
not really. They're quite bespoke in the way they design. It's not like something you see every day.
What's your best-selling watch?
best
Daytona.
Root beer, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah,
There was
sports
a
one.
time nobody wanted them.
I know.
I know.
I know. Yeah.
That
I know,
was
yeah.
the one out of all of them that nobody ever wanted, especially the bimetal.
I know.
Yeah.
Because the bimetals were never popular.
I know. Yeah.
That's what we got here. So that is probably our best selling.
And it's funny, the root beer was like the one that nobody, and then suddenly it went crazy.
Yeah, you could buy it. You could just walk into Rolex, buy them.
Yeah,
No
there was
problem.
no demand for a root beer. I think it's a beautiful watch, the root beer. It is a
nice.
stunning watch.
Yeah.
I
I feel like it's a good entry level Rolex.
Yeah, it's a
compared
great watch. Looks great on your wrist. Wear it every day. Knock it about. They're tough as old boots.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you can polish them up. It's a lovely piece. It really is. You can't knock the root beer. I think this, for me, I like. You know, do they make the blue now with a steel, or is it still only in white gold?
What, a GMT?
Yeah, the bluey.
No, the blues,
Or
yeah.
whatever they're called.
No,
Smurf.
it's still yellow gold.
Still white gold.
Still in yellow gold.
Oh, it's yellow.
Yeah, yellow gold.
There used to be a Smurf, so it's the white gold one. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. So it's the white gold, and then it's got the blue dial. and the
Yeah,
bezel.
is that only made in white gold still?
Yeah.
Now they rebought it out and it's got a black dial.
They don't make a blue with a stainless steel, because that's what I'd like.
Yeah. That's
A
what
blue
that-
face
yeah,
with
yeah.
because
That's what we thought we were going to see last year.
the Hulk's a bit overdone now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very rubbed out.
Yeah.
But it's got that hype around it. It's always going to be the money green watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
People
always
love
gonna,
that.
It's always going to have a demand for it. The Hulk.
You know, I've always wanted a Rolex for my date year. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
because some of the vintage stuff
Stuff.
is so nice.
Yeah.
What would your ideal date year watch be? Like a GMT, Pepsi, like it would have been a Coke back then. When was you born?
74,
74.
long time ago, bro.
Yeah, so it would have been a Pepsi. It would have been the
Yeah,
blue.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something from
a
a boat. Yeah, that would be
pre-ceramic
nice.
GMT.
Yeah, blue and red
Because
Pepsi.
at least you're safe for one of those. Never going to go down.
No.
Classic.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
dealing vintage.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
We're trying to get into it more because it's
Yeah.
very it's a niche market and
It's the same as cars. It's very difficult to get into vintage cars.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I found about cars, and it's probably the same with watches. A lot of what you're selling when it comes to vintage is down to provenance.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to condition sometimes. You know, if a car comes with, you know, great history folder,
Yeah.
you know, where you can see everything.
Yeah.
And it's been looked after and the invoices are there, the MOTs, and, you know, comes with a great provenance with that car. So you can kind of date its car, its ownership, its
Much-
history.
It's more appealing for someone.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
probably
end
the
of
same
day.
with watches in a way, that if you get an
100%.
older watch...
The more chance it's been messed about with, and they've put aftermarket parts.
Yeah, that's
in
the
there,
problem,
and-
because
yeah.
when they service a Rolex, sometimes they chuck the hands away, replace them.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, it's better to
And
have one.
people can really certain people can really spot that's been changed. Like all these
Yeah,
little tiny details.
and you need to know what you're doing, especially that patina you get on the
Yeah.
watch. You know,
Yeah.
it's the same with like an old leather in a car.
Yeah,
You know, when you
yeah,
get
Tell it
that
from a
lovely
new leather.
patina.
yeah.
You know, on an old leather. And you go in there and you're like, oh, that looks really nice. The same with a watch when you see the dial. You know, because isn't there one watch that the more faded the dial, it's like worth more or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. So there's a few,
Zenith
there's
dial
a few like
Daytona,
that,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the one you're talking about.
Where-
So the Zenith dial Daytona, in like a certain period of years, I can't remember what the years are, there was like a manufacturing fault with the dial.
Okay.
So over time, the oxidation in the dial makes it fade.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
and
go-
the more faded, it's
it
like
goes
people go
spoiled.
mad for it. And
They
also
sell
they
for
use
upwards
this.
of like 50k. For
And they
just a
use
steel
this
Daytona.
radioactive stuff for the glowing letters or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so
And people love all that if it's still got like this.
Yeah.
that's where that's the same dark watch
Because
I'm
after
talking about.
a
Yeah?
while, because
yeah.
after a while it burns out. So like the more you're wearing it outside in the sun,
Yeah,
then
for
it
the-
just like burns out eventually. So if
People
it still
love
has
all
that,
that.
it means you've had it in the safe and it's been looked after.
How much is one of these now?
Right now we're selling that for 17 grand.
It's not bad. What was it? What was it like when the watch market was nuts?
25.
Yeah,
As
25.
much as 25.
25. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's dropped like 30%.
What do they list?
40%.
12 and a half or 13 and a half. around that.
13,450
Yeah, yeah.
now. 13,450 list.
So
But
it's not
they've-
much over list now.
no, they've gone up obviously 5%.
That's actually
as well.
yeah.
Sort of worth it.
Yeah.
To an end user buying it.
Yeah, like a grand 1,500 over list then.
Yeah, it's not much really. What's your best selling car?
Hard to say. You know what? It's
I guess you deal with so many clients with
yeah. I mean,
Ford.
look, Ferrari's always up there
Yeah.
because obviously when everyone's made a bit of money, the first thing they aspire to is a Ferrari.
A red Ferrari.
Yeah, you know, that's I've made it. So Ferrari's probably up there. But then you get that kind of like battle between Lambo guys and Ferrari guys. So it's kind of like a hand in hand with Ferrari and Lamborghini, because some people want that Lamborghini and some people want that Ferrari. It just depends on which direction you kind of grew up with the poster on your wall.
I'd say I'm a Ferrari man.
Yeah, but a lot of...
I'd say I'll probably rather Lambo.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. So there you
go.
So yeah, probably Ferraris, but just because of what they stand for.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I've always said, you know, watches and cars are so similarly linked, because at the end of the day,
the statement pieces,
how you show your success. You know, you could have the biggest house in the world, but you're not going to take somebody just meet to your house, aren't you?
Yeah,
look at my house, it's amazing. But if you're driving a nice car and wearing a nice watch, you know, it shows that you're doing well in life. And I think the other thing, especially with watches, not so much cars, because, you know, men don't wear that much jewellery generally.
100%.
And, you know, somebody once said to me, you know, a nice watch is a man's jewellery. Think of it like that. You know, because women have a lot of things that they can choose from, earrings. I mean, okay, admittedly, men do wear more jewellery now, but generally, women do wear more. There's more jewellery available for women than there is for men.
100%.
And a man's jewellery should be his watch.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, it's
I
just
agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not big on wearing jewellery myself.
No.
I just wear a watch.
You know, there are people, that maybe it's more of an American thing as well, where the guys, you know, you've seen these Miami guys, all their chains and this and diamond. But in London, we don't wear that much jewellery as guys, you know, but the only jewellery a man should wear really is a watch. That's why it's important for a man to have a nice car and a nice watch.
I know we spoke about it off camera, but how did you get into the cars and how long you been doing it?
I've always been into cars. I'm like a car nerd.
Fanatic, yeah?
Yeah, I'm really nerdy when it comes to like the history and the models and all the kind of nerdy stuff about cars from a kid. So I've always really been into cars. And then obviously I grew up and I wasn't in cars originally, I was in property and I made a nice bit of money. I always had a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So I always bought cars for myself. And then I got out of property because I hated it at the end. It just didn't suit me anymore. And then I got into the car business and grew from there and been doing it now probably just over 10 years here at Mayfair Prestige. So
lovely. You've got some nice cars on show today, I must say.
Yeah, we've had better.
Yeah.
We've had everything. That's the thing, you know.
There's not much that you can't get hold of as well, I guess.
No, it's like everything. You know, we've had everything's been through here. You know, every Ferrari, Lamborghini, every brand, and that's another thing. I've driven most of the cars that I've always wanted to drive.
What's your favourite car to drive out of all the cars you've driven? I guess you've got a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Let's go for speed and handling. Pick two cars.
I'm a Porsche nutcase.
I like Porsches.
Okay.
GT3.
Yeah, I'm a Porsche nutcase. So it's probably between like a GT3 RS.
Yeah.
I do like 991s. I have to say, even though the 992 is amazing, 991 GT3 RS was a great car. The Ferrari Speciale, which was the special edition 458 they made, like what they did with the Pista.
Did they make that quite recently?
Yeah, that was out in about 2015.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That is an amazing car. Yeah, I mean, that is really everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that car, you're just never, ever, ever, ever going to go in that car and go, I don't like this car. Every time you get in that car, you're going to be like...
Wow, it's like getting in a new car every time.
It's just perfect. The noise, the speed, the handling, everything about that car is just perfect. But yeah, there's been a lot of cars. I mean, even the F12 or the 812 front engine V12s are just great to drive because they're just insane. So it's hard.
And that black one.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing in the showroom.
It's got a front engine V12. I mean, this thing's giving out so much. I mean, that's a hand. You're never going to find the limit of that car as a normal, never.
No.
You know, a V8 you can find the limit on, kind of, even as a.
I've not driven many fast cars, honestly, so...
Yeah, but the V8 Ferraris are quite playful. You can rev those right up. This thing, you're going to die. You know, if you try and properly match Verstappen this car, this car's going to bite you.
Yeah,
this thing's, I mean, it's controllable, but my God, it's insanely fast.
How much would something like that go for?
Look, they range between about 230 to 260, depending on age, spec. You know, a lot of it's spec dependent as well, mileage.
A lot of variables that go into it, sort of thing.
But the good thing with these Ferraris is they give you like a 7-year service pack now.
Really?
That's nice. So you got free servicing for 7 years with this car.
That is good.
You got a 4-year warranty. So really, they're pretty bulletproof now when you buy them, you know, new or nearly new.
You never really keep a brand new car for too long anyway, do you?
No one really keeps a Ferrari for that long. So you probably keep it 3-4 years, get rid of it. But then at least you know you've got no servicing costs for that time.
So with the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, is it still a thing where you buy at list and you sell for a profit?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, look, it's all depends on supply and demand with that market.
Yeah.
You know, now I think more cars are coming out. I think post-COVID, there was that huge demand like there was in your industry.
Yeah.
You know, where everyone was going mad and cars, because the production had stopped in all the factories,
Nobody was
things
doing
were just going crazy. But I think it's settled down now. It all depends on the car.
It's good for the market, really. Anyway, it's settling down.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good for everything when things settle down. It makes things a lot easier to buy and sell. Yeah, it takes that insanity out of the market.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, which people think is great, but I think in the long run it's not so great.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
true.
like
Because you end up getting, I don't know if it's the same with car dealers, but a lot of watch dealers kind of. So when the market was going up and it seemed like it was never stopping, obviously they might have got investment. They might have got investment from other people, because the more you buy, they're thinking the more money
of
I'm
course.
making. And then obviously a lot of people got caught.
Yeah, you're holding a lot of expensive stock.
They lost a lot of money. So is that the same with the car business?
Yeah. You know the difference with us as well. We buy our own stock. You know, there's a lot of dealers out there in the UK. I don't know if it's like this in the watch business with this sailor return stuff.
yeah.
So you got a lot of dealers. I'm not going to name any, but you got a lot of dealers who are set up who look amazing,
Yeah,
have
of course.
amazing stock, but they don't own one car that they're selling.
Yeah, it's
They've got
all on
no
a commission
vested
base.
interest. So they can overinflate their prices. So it's like you probably, when you're trying to buy a watch and somebody compares it to another watch with an SOR guy who's just overinflated. And he's like, well, that watch is up at 36. Well, it's not worth 36.
Yeah,
It's
the
probably
market
worth
is completely
32.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, in reality. But he's
There's no correlation.
But he's got no vested interest in the watch because he hasn't got his money behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Had he
true.
actually bought it at, let's say, 28, and he's got $4,000 across the watch, he's going to sell it at 32, isn't he?
course,
And
yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah, of course.
But because he's got no actual, same as cars, you know, it's easy for me to say, oh, this car I can put up at 120 when I've got no but I bought this car and I paid money for it.
Yeah.
So I want to put it up at the right price to get my money out and make my profit.
Of course.
How much is this?
100%.
This is an SLS in front of me, right?
No,
What
this is an AMG GTC.
GTC.
The SLS is the gull wing door one. They stopped production on. That's another one they stopped production on. The prices went through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I remember having SLSs in here and convincing people to buy them at 90 grand. Convincing them. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's a great car. Then
it
they
was
went,
hard. I'm guessing it was hard to sell.
yeah. And then Mercedes went, we're not making the SLS anymore. Okay. 90, 100, 110, 120. And people are ringing me. I need an SLS. I need an. I'm like, it was only like a year ago. I'm like begging people to buy it at 90. No, maybe. I don't know. Should I buy it? 110. 120, 130. Now an SLS good one is like 150, 160.
No way.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
it's probably going to go up even more.
Wow.
When did they stop production on it?
SLS has stopped production in about 15, 16. I think the last they
Jesus,
call it
that was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, but then they just because that's when the AMG took over. I think it's about 15, 16. They stopped the last
How much is this GTT?
about 110,000. There's a lot of
110.
car for 110.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice looking car, man.
It is.
You know, if you're going to compare this for like the equivalent Porsche 911 that you could buy for 110.
Yeah.
You know, let's say you'll get the new shape, the 992, but you're going to get a Carrera S, maybe something. And I'll be honest with you, unless you're dealing in Turbo S's or GT3s and upwards, the Carreras
It's not worth buying.
they're very boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really boring.
It's like sort of starter pack. It's like
Yeah, really, yeah. But just,
a white gold day
Yeah.
compared to like an olive day.
It's
You
like
know what I mean?
boring.
Yeah.
You know, but whereas this is fun. This makes a good noise. It's fun to drive. It's a bit playful.
You don't
It's
see it every day, I guess. as
No,
well.
it's more fun. So if you're looking at kind of price point to price point, you'd have a lot more fun than this. And I'm a Porsche nutcase than you would in a, let's say, just a standard Carrera or Carrera S, which would be similar price. So I think these are great value.
Are you a fan of 4x4s? 4x4
Yeah, love
supercars, yeah?
Yeah, love
What's
this.
your
The new
favourite?
Ferrari that's coming out, 4x4.
I'm interested to see what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
They did have one in HRO and they said, come down, have a look at it. So I went down and they said, oh, sorry, the car's left to Colchester. You were supposed to be here to the end of the month. And I'm like, okay. I'm
Nice
here.
one.
So anyway, do you want to go to Colchester? Not really. So yeah, I'm interested to see what it looks like. It's going to do amazing though, isn't it?
Of course it is,
Yeah, of course.
I mean, look what the Urus has done for Lamborghini, the Bentayga for Bentley, the Cayenne for Porsche. These 4x4s transform them.
It's crazy though, like how you'd look probably 5-6 years ago. Nobody thought they would ever get into 4x4s. These supercar companies.
I think they
innit?
had a look at what Lamborghini did.
Yeah,
You know, you
must
think
have, of
Lamborghini
course.
sold more. Sold if you add all the models from the Miura
Yeah.
to every model up to the Aventador of how many Lamborghinis they sold, they've sold more Uruses than they have of everything
Every
else.
car, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Urus is out. So you know, it's transformed their profit sheets.
The whole
Can you imagine
market as well, yeah.
the balance sheets of Lamborghini now? The accountants are going, "Ooh, what can we bring out? Let's call it a Performante. Can we just repeat this and do it again? Yeah, no, Lamborghini Urus S. Yeah, add an S at the end. Sell more." Because you're just looking at your balance sheets going, happy days.
Yeah, literally.
So, yeah, but it's a great car. Have you driven an Urus?
No, never.
I've been in them, but I haven't driven them myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes a noise though, doesn't it? Makes some noise.
It's bonkers. It's a bonkers.
Quite a way to put it, bonkers. What about what's the difference between the Performante?
I think they've kind of just added a bit more carbon, changed, like facelifted a little
body
bit.
shape sort of.
Yeah, and just added a little bit more touches. And I think they may have just tuned the engine a little bit to give a bit more horsepower. With these engines, it's very easy to do. You know, with the ECU units and everything that's so computerized, you can kind of dial it up a bit.
Just plug the computer in,
Yeah,
change a few settings.
yeah, you can dial up.
That's quite smart because I guess the first time they release a car like the Urus, they don't do the engine up to how good they can do it.
They always leave a bit.
Because then they can always
Exactly, it gives them a bit of room to wiggle.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's the same engine,
Yeah.
it's the same turbos, it's the same everything. It's just really that they dial things up a little bit, you know, with these electronic ECUs and start tweaking and then they just restyled it a little. But they've done a great job. The car looks great. Added a bit more carbon, made it a bit more sporty inside. I think changed the seats. Just generally, you know.
When you sit in one, it is like the feeling you get is very prestigious.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But look, for me, I still think the Cullinan is the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Nothing like it.
Why would you put them?
Nothing.
Aside?
Nothing comes close.
Nothing
Really?
compares.
Nothing on earth is like a.
Is that because of like the class of it, or is that because of actually how it
it's
drives?
at the top of the tree when it
All
comes
round.
to like luxury.
How many cars do Rolls Royce make as well a year?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, look, they're handmade.
Yeah,
at
that's what I
Goodwood.
thought.
So it takes longer, obviously, than factory building like what with machines. So I'm sure they still make quite a few cars.
But like you say, how often do you see a Cullinan rolling around the streets? So a Urus, you probably walking around London, you probably see 10, 20 Uruses in a day.
Yeah,
Easily.
loads.
Yeah, if you're like
But
around
like a
Knightsbridge
Cullinan,
or around
maybe.
here, Mayfair, wherever.
No, you still see a lot of Cullinans. You'd be shocked. Yeah,
To be
in
fair,
Mayfair.
we see him at work quite a lot. And Hatton,
Yeah,
like,
It's a
they
great
drive-
car, though.
Yeah.
What a car. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing
nice.
comes. Rolls Royce still is even Bentley haven't got what Rolls Royce have got.
No
You know,
way.
in terms of overall
Superiority.
drive and just the way they just float along and glide and just effortless and comfortable, and they're a dream to drive.
What's the most interesting car you've ever sold, would you say?
Oh God, now you put me on the spot.
Can
Now-
be something vintage, something...
Oh, God's sake, now you really... I mean, we sold everything. So, yeah, I mean, I've sold like 722 McLaren SLRs, which I love.
What's that? That's an old school McLaren, right?
Yeah, the SLR, when McLaren did a marriage with Mercedes. So
Yeah,
there was a
yeah.
McLaren Mercedes, but they're
It's
actually
got them
built by
really-
McLaren.
Like bare
You know,
sort
they're
of
so
steering.
long at the front and they look like a fighter jet and they're just incredible. And they made a special edition called a 722.
Yeah.
Which is basically what time he started the race. The guy that used to drive years ago. Oh God, my brain's gone. But yeah, he started at 7:20. When he won the Miglia Mille, he started at 7:22 in the morning.
So they
called
named
it
the car. So.
But that's a great car. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I've sold. You know, sometimes I know it sounds crazy, but when I sell a car, I kind of forget.
Yeah, no.
You know,
It goes off the radar now.
I think good first salesmen always move on from the last sale.
Yeah.
You know, so
you don't think about the last one.
You can't get too emotionally attached to
No.
stock either. You got to just look at it as stock. You know, it's money, isn't it? It's not.
But we sold everything. I can't remember. I mean, I sold SV Lambos. I had a beautiful green SV Roadster when they were just out back in like 16. And this was, this thing looked incredible. SV Roadster, green. It was like Verde Mantis or something. It was just out this world good looking.
Do you think colours like contrast on your sales a lot? Like, would you say you sell more black or white cars compared to like coloured cars at all?
You know, colours is so subjective in cars.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll give you an example. I had once a Ferrari F12, and the only way I could describe it was like a vintage heritage colour. The only way I could describe this colour was like my dad's ceiling, nicotine.
Nicotine yellow.
Yeah, like what he looked like under his chair. Yeah, my old
The
man.
tar, like,
God
melted.
rest his soul. So it was like that kind of like white, off-white nicotine. And I looked at this F12 and I'm like, this is the worst colour I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, And then somebody came in and was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for this colour forever. This is my favourite colour. Oh my God, do you know that this is some heritage racing colour?" He's telling me all about that when it
That
raced.
colour, yeah.
I'm like, okay, looks like my dad said, no. It's no. Anyway, he bought the car, loved it. So colours are weird like that, but I think Lambos need to be funky. One thing about Lambos, no good in black.
They're outgoing, aren't
They
they?
need to be yellow, green,
yeah.
orange. You know, Lambos, Ferraris can go away with the standard white, red, black.
Who's
you
it?
know.
Aubameyang. So where we live, like Weybridge, Cobham Way, is right by the Chelsea training ground.
Yeah.
I went to a hotel once and I see Aubameyang's car. He's got
He's destroyed them.
he's got a mirror
He's
wrap.
destroyed them.
Fucking Euros.
He's got a LaFerrari.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
And he wrapped it. Well, I saw it in HRO and I think it was getting service.
Yeah, he parked outside Novikov that
And
time.
I think he wrapped it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But I mean, he's taken a LaFerrari, which is one of the, and he's wrecked it. I mean, like, what has he done with?
Are
this
you
wrap?
against? Because obviously for us, is wrapping cars to you like how we see watches when people put offset diamonds in them?
Yes. I think they look good from far and far from good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only look good when you're there. They come close, and that, you know what it is. I don't like that vinyl look.
It's
You only
horrible,
get
isn't
close
it?
to it,
Shiny
and you
inside.
see that. You know, that's what I mean. It's good from far from. You know,
It's not
Yeah.
like a clean spray. It's like
no, I'm not into wrapping.
it's like a sticker. It just looks like a big sticker, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just not into it.
Because for us, it's like when people drill holes into a watch and put diamonds in, we're like, you
Oh,
fucked
God,
the watch
that's-
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then
just
for you,
ruin
is
the
that
whole-
how you look at when people wrap the cars? Yeah. But I
Because you know
guess,
what? The first thing I do, I bought wrapped cars.
yeah.
And the first thing I tell people is I won't buy that car till you pull the wrap off.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're hiding.
Yeah, you don't know what's
Yeah, God
underneath.
forbid they pull the wrap off and it's like the paint comes off with it, or
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
So I'm always like, first thing, wrap off. I think the best thing you can do nowadays, which is really good, is what they call PPFing. Someone should have invented
Okay.
PPF
That's
for
the
a watch.
like the wax stuff, doesn't it?
No, it's a clear coat.
Yeah.
So it's like a clear film, protection film.
So
So it's just clear. It's like cling film. So it's
just
like
protects the paint. On
yeah.
The
For, you know what they do as well? They do like a matte version. So it will change your paint to matte effect, but it's clear.
It's clear. Yeah.
So it's not like a wrap, but it just adjusts the paint to matte effect. It actually looks good. We've done it on a couple of G-Wagons for clients. Where
Nice,
they,
yeah.
We PPF their cars and made a matte effect, and it turned from like obsidian black to like matte black. Look good. But someone should do that with watches actually. Like
yeah, they should. They do like a what they
PPF.
call. It's called It's PVC coating on watches. It's like
Yeah.
a ceramic coating.
Yeah, because you can get.
They do like
that
I don't know if you've
scratching.
seen the Bamford Daytonas or the Bamford
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Submariners.
yeah.
That's what that is.
Okay.
So like the
Whereas
black
like, the
coating.
watch is all matte black.
Yeah, they just like.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's not really the.
I think Beckham had one of those Bamfords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was like endorser. For
Yeah,
something
he
or
was.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the. But I guess the good thing with if you wrap cars, at least you can take the wrap off. So when you
Yeah.
put diamonds and watches,
No,
take the diamonds
that's
out,
the
there's all-
worst
There's all
thing.
fucking holes in them.
Yeah, but that again is like an American. I think it's more an American thing. Isn't
It's
it?
a phase, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like people believe into social media massive now, and they get influenced by these idiots.
Wrap.
They'll say, and it's like people love it. They do love it. But
But those diamonds are like worthless anyway. These are like the diamonds the dealer would chuck in the bin anyway after he's done like a
these
good.
tiny little
Yeah,
diamonds.
they're like little specks. You know, someone says, "Oh, my watch has got 30 carats." No, it's not 30 carats diamond because it's like
0.01
Yeah,
times
dots
30.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
can't-
difference
you
of a
can't see
30
them.
carat VVS
Yeah.
stone.
Stone,
Yeah, you know.
It's not a fucking £2 million stone. At the
Yeah,
end of the day,
exactly.
is it?
There's some dealing
We've
jewelry
been
as
starting,
well.
We do a
yeah,
little
starting
bit.
to get
We
into
do a little
diamonds
bit, yeah.
massively. But it's another one of them markets. It's like we're
You gotta know.
we're scarce when we're looking and buying
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
you
like
gotta know.
at the end of the day, only a computer can tell whether it's a lab grown diamond or a natural diamond. No human eye can tell that.
You gotta know.
So
what about
that-
certificate? What about all that GIA?
But then the people can fake the certificates.
People
I mean,
can
the
do
bang on
that.
as well. So you got to be so careful.
Diamonds are hard.
We have a lot to learn before we start like telling people, oh yeah, bring this diamond in, and we can actually look at it ourselves and hand the money over.
Yeah.
We was gonna buy a diamond once. So anyway, went and got it checked by a diamond dealer. So it come with a certificate, and obviously they've got the GIA stamps in them.
Yeah.
So the stone should have the same stamp inside
Inside.
the diamond.
Yeah, which is
I've
crazy,
took it
to be fair,
I've
yeah.
took it to the guy. He's examining it. There's no stamp in the diamond,
Right, so
but
it's-
there's a certificate that has a stamp.
So it don't belong to that.
So it's like, oh, it was the same diamond, like the way it's stated, but where's the stamp?
It should have a stamp, so
something's
maybe
not matching up.
Yeah, so some, there might be.
Yeah, diamonds are dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you remember when people buy diamonds, they usually buy them because they're in love and they don't care, so they spend money.
Yeah.
And the minute you sell them is when you really get nailed. And every time you bought a ring and you're like, I bought it because I'm in love and all that. And then you go to sell the same ring. I bought that ring for 20 grand and he's told me it's worth 3.
That's what it's like.
That's what.
Yeah, and you're like, pay 20 grand for it. Yeah, but when you bought it, you were in love, and now love is over and it's worth 3.
That's what your love was worth at that time.
Yeah.
That's what it's worth.
Yeah,
now.
that's the problem with jewellery. You get nailed with
Yeah,
jewellery.
to be fair, we've done engagement rings for a few like close friends and stuff, and obviously we've told them, look, this is what it's going to cost us.
Yeah.
We need a little profit, and then they're over the moon because like if they go anywhere else, they're going to pay. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not trying to like ruin people's business in the market.
Tiffany's have made a lifetime business out of that, bro.
Yeah.
Selling love, you know, selling love.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? When you think about it, yeah.
Tiffany made a brand out of it.
Yeah, they did. The brand
Think about it. You sell pieces. Ugh, yeah.
Right, let's get down to a deal anyway.